Here we are. Aftermath of yesterday's big live stream. Let me do this real quick. We had a pretty good outcome. About 300 views is pretty good for me. Anything over 100 exceeds expectations for me. But here we go. We are back with our trophy series video, and today we are talking about the Jack Adams. Now, the Jack Adams is the best coach in the NHL during the regular season, and we're going to discuss every single coach just like we did with the Vezina. This should take a while, not as long as the Vezina, hopefully not. But there will be timestamps down below, by the way, so there will be, if you want to go see what I said about your team's coach, they will all be down below, just the very first thing. And yeah, anyways, let's get into the video. If you haven't already subscribed, please make sure to do that. And yeah. So, by the way, this will be the last trophy video. I'm not doing any more. I feel like Vezina, Calder, Norris, and Jack Adams are the four that, kind of make sense. And then we'll start getting into the 2021 reviews, prospect previews, everything we need to do for the draft. And then we can have fun after that. So, anyways, let's get into this, and then we can start doing fun videos tomorrow. Starting off here with the Anaheim Ducks, we have Dallas Eakins. He was the coach of the Ducks. Not really. The Ducks are still going through the rebuild. I think they might have maybe one more year of that, and then boom, I think you're done with this team. I think this team is in the right direction, but I think Eakins. The Anaheim struggled to produce offense a couple times this season, but I think outside of that, he's done a pretty good job with the team that he's had. Is it Norris level? Absolutely not, but he's done a good job with the rebuilding Ducks. Arizona Coyotes, Rick Tocchet. No. Tocchet, maybe over the course of the years that I've seen him in Arizona, he is the only coach that I've seen coach in Arizona. I've seen most teams run through different coaches, but the thing is with Rick Tocchet, I've seen him go through all of Arizona, and to think that Arizona is going to get a brand new coach coming this next season, I thought Tocchet did a good job with the team that he had. It wasn't entirely his fault. So, yeah, I really wouldn't blame him for this, and I really wouldn't blame him for what happened in Arizona. But he is getting other places elsewhere, and I will definitely root for him no matter where he goes. But yeah, Tocchet, he's been pretty good. Boston Bruins, Bruce Cassidy. Now, I have Cassidy on the thumbnail. Do I think he's going to win the Norris? Probably not. I put a lot of other coaches over Cassidy, but Cassidy did a pretty good job. Considering at the start of the season and in the offseason, we were looking at Boston and saying they have a problem because they had Pastrnak and Marchand out at the time. So, and your blue line was kind of messed up too. So to think that, the Bruins came in here and did as well as they did, he'll get consideration, but there's other teams that have been much better than Cassidy has. Next up, the Buffalo Sabres, Ralph Krueger and Don Granato, because Krueger got fired mid-season. No, I'm going to leave it at that. Calgary Flames, Geoff Ward and Daryl Sutter. No, I'm also going to leave it at that. With those two teams, it was a struggling season, and the fact that your coach got fired during it kind of shows that no Jack Adams, unless if your team is in the Stanley Cup Finals. But no. Carolina Hurricanes, Rod Brind'Amour. I think he'll definitely get considerations and votes. He probably will be a finalist whenever that gets announced, whether that's tomorrow or Monday or whenever that happens. But nonetheless, he should definitely be a finalist with how good the Hurricanes did this season. And look at me, Hurricanes jersey right here. Yeah, I think that he should definitely be a consideration for it. Chicago Blackhawks, Jeremy Colliton. I gotta give credit to him because at the start of the season, did anyone expect Chicago to be as good as they were? No. Everyone expected them to be worse than Detroit. Even some people expected that. But yeah, I think he did pretty good with the team that he had. And Chicago, you got some questions heading into the next season here. Up next here with the Colorado Avalanche, you have Jared Bednar. Definitely. I think he could probably very well win it. I think it's going to be probably Bednar, Cooper for the Lightning, and Brind'Amour as the three finalists. So those are probably the three guys that make it. I wouldn't be surprised if anyone else gets thrown in there. But yeah, it should be Jared Bednar, Brindamore, and Cooper. But Bednar, with the team that he's had, he's done a great job with it. And look at them. They have only lost once in the playoffs. Unbelievable. Columbus Blue Jackets, John Tortorella. No. That's pretty obvious. No. With the season Columbus had, no. Dallas Stars, Rick Bowness. I don't see him winning it. He did good with the team that he had, and part of me doesn't even blame Dallas for the struggles they had during the season. And the fact that, they had one of the hardest schedules that isn't the Canucks. Bowness has done pretty good for himself to make this team, fifth in their division? Just a couple points out of the playoffs. So I got to hand it to him. He did a great job with, scheduling issues and injuries. He's done a good job. Detroit Red Wings, Jeff Blashill. He's not winning it. Some people said that when he got re-signed, everyone was like, that's ridiculous. You should fire Blashill. That's the dumbest thing that Detroit could have done. Not really. To be entirely honest with you, I didn't find that stupid. I found that actually kind of relatively smart. Because I think Blashill is a good coach. He got the effort out of those guys. And I mean, last season, in that, 17-win season that Detroit had? Or 14-13 win season? Look, they weren't as good as they are now. And, they were done the game after the second period. So, I mean, the fact that he got as much energy and effort out of those guys as possible, that's what's keeping him in town, and I think that's going to be a smart signing for them. Edmonton Oilers, you have David Tippett. I said I wouldn't be surprised if Tippett gets fired, but then again, I don't know. I think he did a very good job with the Oilers this season, though. The playoffs could affect that. Is he a Jack Adams winner? No, definitely not. But I think he's been pretty good nonetheless. So I got to hand it to him there. Now up next here you have the Florida Panthers. And this is the thing that just I don't know. Because I feel like he could very well be a finalist for it too. But then again, Joel Quenneville of the Florida Panthers, they lost in the first round. Yes, I understand that. But with how he coached this team and how this team improved dramatically in this season, you can't help but at least consider him into it. He's definitely a top 5 candidate for it. But I think outside of that, not really. But I don't think he wins it, but he's definitely been a good coach this season. And he could very well be a finalist if he gets enough votes. Los Angeles Kings, Todd McClellan. No, the Kings are still in that rebuilding stage. I think next season they start bringing up those young prospects, and they're going to start really getting into stride with this team. I think this team is going to be great in the future. And I never really saw them be great relatively. I've seen them make it to the playoffs once, get swept by Vegas, and it's been rebuilding ever since. So I think that as a Kings fan, you got to be excited, but McClellan, not a Norris winner. Minnesota Wild, here's another one. It's Brindamore, Cooper, Bednar, Quenneville, and Dean Evison of the Minnesota Wild. Those 5 have probably been the 5 best coaches. And then you gotta throw Sheldon Keefe in there, Mike Sullivan. It's so many coaches. But I think Dean Evison was a great coach with a surprising season for the Minnesota Wild. Do I think he's a Norris winner? Or not a Norris winner, a Jack Adams winner? No. Yeah, Evanson's a defenseman. I think he was, actually. No, he's not a Jack Adams winner, but he could very well win it in the future. Maybe if Minnesota can keep this up. But Minnesota, they got a pretty big offseason ahead of them. They want to build a team around Kaprizov. That's legit. Nashville Predators, John Hines. I don't see that happening. He had a good comeback towards the end to get that team into the playoffs, but look where that got them. First round exit again against Carolina. So Norris winner, no, but he did a good job with the team that he had. The Devils, Lindy Ruff. No, not a Norris winner. I was surprised when they even hired him. I think that video is still up on the channel. But yeah, I think Lindy Ruff's done okay with the team that he's had. I think there were times where they were oh yeah, They just don't look very good. Like, even at times, Buffalo is better than the Devils. But I think with the young core that the Devils have, I think Lindy Ruff's going to be a great coach for that team in the future. But not this season, though. No. New York Islanders, Barry Trotz. I had to throw in here, they struggled towards the end of the season. I feel like they do that every time. They did that at the COVID area where they just started struggling and then they just wake up in the playoffs and look, they're in the second round now. So I wouldn't count the Islanders out. Is Trotz a Norris win or Norris? Why do I keep saying Norris? Is Trotz a Jack Adams winner this season? No, probably not. Maybe in the future, but then again, I don't know. You guys can decide that on your own. New York Rangers, David Quinn. No. There was so much complaints about firing him and how he's like, he's not going to successfully play the young guys correctly. And I know the Rangers fired him and they're going to bring in someone, but Quinn just being fired says that no, you're not a Jack Adams winner. Although the Rangers had a pretty good comeback towards the end of the season, they just couldn't make it, which I mean sucks, but you know what? They have a bright future and they're going to make it next season. Absolutely. Next up here for the Ottawa Senators, you have DJ Smith as your coach. No. I don't really blame Smith for how bad the Sens were this season. They're still developing. They have a lot of young guys. It's going to be very entertaining to see what it's going to be like in the future. But is DJ Smith going to be that coach? Maybe. I'll let Sens fans decide that. But I think with the team he had and the push they had towards the end of the season, they did a pretty good job. The Philadelphia Flyers, Alain Vigneault, no. Vigneault, I've seen some people wanting to fire him. No, he's not going anywhere. Maybe after next season, if they're bad again and they miss the playoffs, maybe then you start considering it. But now, I just don't see it. I don't think so. But no, he's not a Norris winner. Why do I keep saying that? Jack Adams winner. This season, definitely not. Last year though, definitely, but not this season. Pittsburgh Penguins, Mike Sullivan. I think you can consider him into it because Penguins finished first in their division. I gotta give props to them, but I can't say that they're going to win it necessarily. I think I already said it's gonna be down to Cooper, Brind'Amour, and Bednar. Apart from that, really no one. But Sullivan, he was a good coach with the team he had, and they did a pretty good job. But the playoffs, another first-round exit that might be telling you something about either Sullivan or the Penguins' core. San Jose Sharks, Bob Booner. There's a lot of jokes, people calling him Bob Boner through the, we all know what that means, throughout the regular season. No, not a Norris winner at all, but with the team that he had, he did a good job, I guess. But I think some people want him out of San Jose, and maybe they go out and find another coach. San Jose fans, you can let me know if that's accurate in the comments below. But yeah, just not an Adams winner this season. St. Louis Blues, Craig Berube, no. The Blues did okay. There were times where they started falling off where you were like, okay, St. Louis, want to come back? And then Arizona just gave them the fourth spot, practically. So, yeah. Yeah, he's not Norris. He's not an Adams winner for this season, but last season and the season before, maybe. But I don't know if he stays in St. Louis in the future, though. I'll let Blues fans decide on that one. We have just 6 coaches left now with the Tampa Bay Lightning. We have John Cooper. As I said, he's going to definitely be a finalist for it. Does he win it? Maybe not. But I think he'll absolutely be a finalist for it. But you got to consider that Tampa was third in their division. So you could argue Quenneville over him or Evason over him. You never know. We'll see how it goes. But I think Cooper's probably a finalist for it again. Toronto Maple Leafs, Sheldon Keefe. I think he could very well go over Cooper for that. But I'm not too sure. The Maple Leafs had a good regular season. The playoffs, it's just take that out of the equation. There's big things coming for the Maple Leafs. And when we get to the review, we'll discuss it more. But, Vancouver Canucks, Travis Green. No, Canucks fans despise that man. He's not a Jack Adams winner, but I don't blame him for what happened with the Canucks this season. It was a mess. The Virtanen situation, Pettersson being injured and hitting the post a million times, the blowouts against the Canadiens, the COVID outbreak. Look, I can't find it in my heart to blame Travis Green for what happened. So yeah, I'm just gonna say no for that one. Vegas Golden Knights, Pierre DeBoer, however you want to say that. I think you can consider him because of the season Vegas had. They were pretty dominant throughout it, but there was a lot of other coaches that I would put over DeBoer. No offense to his game, though. I think he's a great coach, but I just put a couple other coaches over him. Washington Capitals, Peter Laviolette. Definitely not. The Caps, they have more questions facing them after another first-round exit. You're definitely going to consider that, but not a Norris winner this season, or Adams winner. He was good, though, for a while, but I just don't see it. And the Winnipeg Jets, Paul Maurice, that's the final coach. No, I wouldn't put him in that column because Jets were struggling towards the end. They were good for a while, but I just wouldn't put him in the Jack Adams winner column. So, yeah, that's all the winners for the Jack Adams, all the coaches, all the nominations, all the nominees. You know what I mean? So, we're going to see who's going to win it, whether it's tomorrow or this coming week. So, yeah, or the finalists, not who's going to win it. So, yeah, thank y'all for watching and for all your support. I really do appreciate it. Make sure to go down below and subscribe if you're new. We're at 825 subscribers now. We're going to keep gaining those subscribers on the push for 900. I don't plan going live. Tomorrow we'll have prospect previews and 2021 reviews as well coming up soon. So thank y'all for watching and for all your support. And yeah, I will see you guys in the next videos.